It is given that the gravitational force of attraction between a uniform sphere of mass m and a uniform rod of length L and mass m as shown in figure is. So basically our aim is to find out what about the value of force of attraction between these two masses. Now just remember that in class also we discussed that we cannot directly take the mass or calculation for gravitational force from center of mass. That means you cannot consider that this mass is going to be concentrated at center of mass, and from that center of mass we cannot write the equation. So if there is an extended object, then we need to consider a small element, then we need to integrate to find out the answer. And we know that only for a spherical shape object we can assume that total mass is concentrated at the center. So for the sphere of mass m we can assume that total mass is at the center, but for the other object we cannot take it as mass at the center. So we'll consider a small element over here which is at a distance, let's say x, from this capital letter mass m, or from the center of sphere. So this distance is representing a very small part of this distance x, so which we can take it as nothing but dx, and just consider that the mass of the small element is equal to dm. Now we can write the force of attraction between this sphere and this small element of mass m. So this force we can take it as df is equal to g into mass of the sphere m and mass of that small element is dm divided by distance between them is nothing but x, so we can take it as x square is the equation for force of attraction between the sphere and the small element. Like that we are dividing this rod into infinite number of small elements, and we'll find out what about the value of force between each and every element, and we'll add all that forces, then we'll get the value of net force, and that addition process is known as nothing but a integration. So net force will be equal to integration of gm dm divided by x square. So we can write this is equal to, now just remember that for integration of x square we need the term dx. So we need to write the value of dm in terms of x. So let's see how we'll write the term dm in terms of x. So over here if you are having a rod of mass m and its length is L, so we can find out what about the value of its mass per unit length. So total mass divided by total length will get the value of mass per unit length. This ratio will same for all the masses, so or for all the small elements. So if I am taking total mass as m and total length as L, so the ratio is m by L. That ratio will be same for any small element. That means if I am taking a small element of mass dm, and if its distance or if its length is dx and its length is dx, so we can write the ratio is going to be same, that is dm divided by dx. Or we can write the value of dm is equal to what about the value of mass per unit length, m divided by L, into what about the length of that element that we are taken, that is dx, then we'll get the value of mass of small element that we selected. So dm is total mass by total length into length of the small element that we selected. Now we can just put this value over here instead of dm. So what we'll get is g into m into, instead of dm we can write it as m divided by L, or here we can take it as a small letter m divided by L into dx, because the mass of that rod is given as small letter m, divided by x square. Now it is in the form of integration, so we can go for integration of g mm divided by L into integration of x raised to 1 by x square can be written as x raised to minus 2 into dx. Now we need to identify from where to where the value of x is changing. For this particular point the value of x is r, and for this particular point this distance is nothing but r plus L. So we need to change the limit from r to r plus L, or the value of x is changing from r to r plus L. So we can write this is equal to gmm divided by L into integration of x raised to minus 2 dx. We know that integration of x raised to n is x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. By using that formula we can write this is x raised to minus 2 plus 1 divided by x raised to minus 2 plus 1, and the limit is changing from r to r plus L. So we can write this is equal to g mm by L into x raised to minus 1 divided by minus 1, and the limit is changing from r to r plus L. So this can be written as g mm divided by L into, we can take this negative sign outside, so it is x raised to minus 1 can be written as 1 divided by x, and the limit is changing from r to r plus l. So you can write this as minus of gmm divided by l into, instead of x we can write this as r plus l, minus, instead of x we can write this as r. This is going to be 1 by r plus l minus 1 divided by r. So this can be written as g into mm into l divided by. Now we can take this r plus l into r as LCM. So this is going to be r minus r plus l divided by r plus l into r. So this can be written as minus of gmm divided by l into, this is r minus l divided by r plus l into r. So we can observe that this r minus r get cancelled, and this equation can be written as minus of gmm into minus l divided by l into r plus l into r. So we can observe that this l and this l get cancelled, this negative sign and this negative sign get cancelled, or by multiplying this we are going to get the answer as nothing but plus 1. So this is going to be gmm divided by r plus l into r. That will give the value of net gravitational force of attraction between these two objects.